Welcome to another In Wheel Time podcast, a 30-minute mini version of the In Wheel Time car show that airs live every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central. It is the In Wheel Time car talk show on iHeartRadio, the place for weekly entertaining car talk. Just ahead, Tom Gattuso with SEMA. Konrad has the popular This Week in Auto History, and we'll get you updated on the stories making car news this week. Howdy, along with Mike Out of This World Mars, King Konrad DeLong. We need more Jeff Zeka.
Yep.
I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us on this Saturday for our live broadcast. And if you're listening on the iHeartRadio app and happen to pick this particular show up, this show is recorded on March the 12th of 2022. Thanks for joining us today. And again, this is our debut on iHeartRadio.
God bless you.
Yeah, we've been kind of keeping it on the QT because we wanted to make sure that we didn't have some major hiccup that we always have every Saturday morning.
It was perfect this morning.
Yeah.
Went smooth as chunky peanut butter.
Guess what? We still have 29 minutes to go.
Don't jinx it.
Don't jinx it yet. 666.
Michigan giving General Motors.
Yeah.
The devil.
All right. Tom Gattuso is with SEMA, and he joins us now. Tom, good morning to you.
Good morning. I'm honored to be on the debut of the iHeartRadio podcast.
Hey, absolutely.
That's why we chose you.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
You are the chosen one.
You are the chosen one. Unlike the $666 million that the state of Michigan is giving somebody.
General Motors.
General Motors. Well, what does that say? Anyway, you don't have to comment on that. Just sit there. You're good.
It's in rubles.
Yeah, that's it. So, Tom, let's talk about SEMA. Tell everybody that doesn't know about SEMA. What does SEMA stand for?
So it's the Specialty Equipment Market Association, and really it started as the Speed Equipment Manufacturers Association back in the 60s. And in order to do some of the legislative and regulatory things, we changed the name to Specialty Equipment Market. And really, it's performance products for cars. Anything you'd want to have on your car, we've got at the SEMA show. It's a business-to-business event that really gathers the industry together once a year, and it's a phenomenal event.
But Tom, let's face facts now. Now, this is not one of those industry car shows where, Ma and Pa's got the little booth set up there. This thing is grown into an actual world event.
Oh, yeah.
And every custom car manufacturer begs to have one of their cars shown in some of the booths that are there, and I will tell you, it is truly stunning. Now, personally, I have not actually been to it live, but through all of the videos that I have seen and all of the car shows that I watch, What are you waving your hands about?
I've been.
Yeah, how many years ago was that?
Well, it's been a few years.
Well, it's grown considerably in the past few years.
And Tom, now you're taking up 3 venues, is that correct, or is it 4?
Conrad, we've got 5 halls, but it's the entire Las Vegas Convention Center campus. Yeah. So when you get down to it, and I don't like to think numbers because that helps me not sleep at night, but it's over 3 million square feet of space, and we have about 160,000, 170,000 people that attend. So when you look at it, it is a big event, but we try to focus on how to be the best event that people go to for their vertical part of the industry. And that's really where we center ourselves.
So do you have a special place for people like us besides jail?
Parking lot.
They can't be in the parking lot because they got car events going on out there now.
They can't be in the parking lot. But I'm saying that, I've always had this vision of us doing our show from there. Now, granted, the show is much longer than our 3-hour show, but, we've been known to do special broadcasts every day of the week. And do you have other car shows that come out there and do shows from there?
We do. And when you talk about whether or not there's a place for you, the nice thing about the SEMA show is there's really a place for everybody. No matter what part of the industry you're in, we cater to that because we are really broad in terms of our overall reach. And then when you get down to podcasts and things like that, we do have a lot of that going on. And this year we're going to have a special area of the show, which I'd love to have you guys at, where we're going to designate an area for podcasts. So you have sort of a set and you've got a nice background. And
oh, wow.
You'll be able to get some energy from the crowd. It'd really be a great thing to have you out there.
Yeah,
Wow.
and you guys also have on display each of the manufacturers that are there showing their wares. Generally has a toy car for people to look at. A friend of ours, Randy Borcherding, that owns Paint House here in Houston, he's done a couple of cars that ended up in Battle of the Builders. He did a 56 Ford truck and a 70 Ford Ranchero. That I think was last year. And Randy, he's always associated with Griot's Garage. But those cars, some of them are stupendous builds that aren't necessarily seen anywhere but at SEMA.
Yeah, and that's really the story behind the story. We've got these builders who are really putting their heart and soul into it. The Battle of the Builders winner in 2020, it was a 9-year build. So when you think about how much blood, sweat, and tears went into that car, how many hours were into it, it's awesome to be able to see it. So I'm really lucky. I'm just the trade show guy at SEMA. So we build this environment, and we let great companies like Griot's find the builders and really help magnify their brand and all the other companies that we've got there. But it all sort of comes together for this week, and it's magic. It's cars you don't see anywhere else in the world. It's this combination of people and conversations that happen that can't be matched anywhere.
Well, I have to tell you that I don't know about this particular year, but I know in years past that SEMA was always coupled up with the NHRA drag race out there at the Las Vegas Speedway, and I would assume that is still the case.
It is still the case. And the city of Las Vegas is big and it gets small all at the same time. So we're working together with the Las Vegas Speedway and how we can connect those two events together, because there's a lot of people that are out there for that race. And we have a special move-in on Monday for some of the cars that run on the strip on Sunday and need to be able to move into the show on Monday. We accommodate that, and it's really a cool part of the show.
And when does the show open? Does it open on Wednesday or Tuesday?
Yeah, we go Tuesday through Friday.
Yeah.
And it's really a 9 to 5 type of thing. But there's a lot going on before on Monday, and we have something we call the Monday reveal, which is kind of our version of the red carpet. So we get about 10 cars and we get some builders, and it's a what did you build type of thing, and what's going to be previewed this week. And then we end it with something that we call SEMA Ignited, which is a consumer event. And that's a great celebration of cars, and it's fed by the SEMA Cruise. And the SEMA Cruise is a parade of vehicles that come out of the SEMA show. There's about 1,000 or 1,200 cars that go in this designated route. We have 20,000 people that attend and watch, and you really get to see the coolest cars in the world go in this parade route into SEMA Ignited, and it's an awesome way to end 4 days of business.
Are they on trailers or are they driving them?
No, they're
driving.
they're driving.
Okay.
I was there the last time I was there. It was before they started the Ignited thing, so that tells you how long ago it was. But we were there whenever Friday evening, whenever they started bringing the cars out and stuff, and it was just, I mean, it was a big parade. I mean, it was great.
Yeah.
Now, when is this year's SEMA show?
This year's SEMA show is going to be the first week in November. So we're right in the Tuesday to Friday that first week, and moving in right there at the end of October.
So you, as the trade show manager, you're not the guy out there with the tape sizing everybody's booth, are you?
You know, we're big and we're small at the same time. So I will say this:
Somebody's got to do it.
I'm moving in a lot of feature vehicles. We have teams of people that do everything, and I'm kind of the air traffic controller of a really talented group of operations professionals. But at the end of the day, when you want it perfect, and that's really what we're striving for. We want to be the best automotive event in the world. Everybody's out there putting their touch on it, and I really like parking the cars and figuring out how it's all going to look. So I do a lot more with tape and chalk than you would think. But
I was just joking. I didn't think you did any of them. I figured you'd pass that out to somebody else. But it's got to be a little.
I think I could separate, but I can't.
But it's got to be a little bit like spinning plates, you know, because you get a little something going here, a little something going there, a little something going here. Well, you got to get back to the first one and keep working your way around between the vendors, between the builders on display, between I want to say consumers walking through. They are consumers, but it's not a truly open to the public event.
Right. No, and that's where I say there's thousands of people that work on this show, and we have it all organized. So I've got operations directors and operations managers who really help put the nuts and the bolts of the show together. And it really comes down to the exhibitors.
Right.
They're worried about their little plot of land, but when you do that 2,500 times, the combination of all that is just magic. And one of my favorite show memories is walking into the show on Tuesday morning after we've been working to build it for 4 or 5 days. Tuesday morning at 6 a.m., it's dead quiet.
Yep.
It's perfect. And that is really the excitement I get for all the work we did leading into it, but what the next 4 or 5 days are going to be like.
Where is the organization SEMA located?
So we're in Southern California, and I like to say we're in the middle of nowhere, but the center of everything. So we're in this city called Diamond Bar, which is east of Los Angeles, but we're kind of centrally located and have been there for a long, long time.
So I assume that probably some of that location choice is due to the beginning of NHRA and Pomona and all of that.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're right down the street from Pomona, and we're there, quite a bit. We'll be there coming up here soon too.
Yeah, no doubt. Okay, so it's just a hop, skip, and a jump to Las Vegas. Do you ever go and drive over to Las Vegas?
Yeah, I do. More times than I can count, probably.
And make a nice stop there in Palm Springs on the way?
No, Palm Springs is the other direction, but there's Barstow right there in the middle.
Barstow. There you go.
Riverside.
His grin got a little bit bigger.
Yeah, exactly.
Put 200 on black on the wheel for me.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So, all right. So it's the first weekend in November. It is the Specialty Equipment Marketing Association.
The Specialty Equipment Market Association.
Market Association. Okay.
We're the first week, so we're Tuesday through Friday that first week in November.
Gotcha. So let me ask you. When you were talking about the time you spend on it, you were talking about the drag racers that can kind of move in on that Monday, and then the show opens on Tuesday. When do you start working and setting this stuff up?
I was working on the 2024 show yesterday, so we're years in advance because we have to figure out what the convention center is looking like and that type of thing. But our total time in Las Vegas is about 18 days, and we start moving it in 12 days before it really starts. So it's a process. You kind of limp in and get started, and then you start to walk, and then you really start to run. And by the time we get to the show, we're sprinting. But it's really cool from my perspective to see it all come together because so much work has gone into it from so many people and so many companies over a year and a 2-year period. And it just crescendos at this point. And it's hard to describe. And Mike, you've been, but we've got to get everybody else out there, but it's hard to describe the energy that happens because this is where the industry gets together and starts to catapult what the products and the sales and what the vehicles are going to look like for the next 3 to 5 years.
What company owns the largest piece of real estate at typical SEMA show?
So it comes down to some of the performance manufacturers and some of the OEMs. So I'd say right now you're probably looking like at a Ford or a General Motors, but we certainly have Hunter Engineering, which is a tool and equipment, and
out of St. Louis.
Wheel Space, Truck Hero is another one. So, and it's not about its size as much as it is about presence. And what we found is that companies that are really big have a lot to say. So they have a lot of people working in there. But if you look at it as just one individual walking through the show and what your time management's like, when you walk into one of these booths, there's enough people in that booth where you're able to have a one-on-one conversation and get a lot of value out of it. So it's really, for us, you mentioned the mom and pop. We've got a lot of mom and pop manufacturers there who have developed a product in their garage and debut it at the SEMA show, and it transforms their business and changes their lives. There's a lot of that as well, and it's really interspersed everywhere. So I like to say your next bestseller is around the next corner, and it's really true because as you walk through the SEMA show, there's new products everywhere, and it doesn't matter if it's a big company or a small company, they're all there.
So as big and massive,
they're all there.
As big and massive as Vegas is, and how many conventions Vegas endlessly does, is it simple to say that SEMA is its single largest event?
It's the single largest event at the convention center in most given years. But, from a car standpoint, it's the most significant thing that happens in the automotive world on an annual basis. So
totally agree.
We're lockstep with the convention center, and they're doing big things, and they're really helping us figure out how we can grow and continue to flourish. So even though our event's going to be, this is the 55th running of it.
Wow.
We're still working with them to see how we can change it and make it better. And we're looking at things they're going to be doing with us for the future. So we're looking really to expand our business to business reach, but we're also offering things for enthusiasts. And it started with our SEMA Cruise and then our SEMA Ignited event. But through that, we had an opportunity for enthusiasts to be able to come to the show this year for the first time ever on Friday. And we called it the Friday Experience. And that's going to continue to expand. So I'd say that what we're seeing right now from a marketplace is we have this business-to-business interaction that we've always had. But now we're seeing the shift in the marketplace where it gets more enthusiast-driven. And that, I think, is a healthy growth pattern for us. So we're going to be doing a lot of things over the next 10 years, and I'm really excited to be just a small part of it and watch how it's going to grow.
Well, we're thrilled to know you.
Yeah.
So you're our connection to SEMA, and we appreciate you taking the time today to talk to us out there on the West Coast. How does gas prices, by the way?
I can't talk about that right now because I'm saving money right now for my next tank. There's other states in the union that have got lower prices.
Well,
you're waiting to get approved for the loan.
Low interest loan, yeah.
And talk to the governor of Michigan, and she'll send you at least $6.66, I'm sure. Tom, it's great to talk to you. Thanks so much for joining us today. Let's talk before the next show.
Yeah, I look forward to it. Thanks, Tom.
Thank you. Tom Gattuso with SEMA. That's pretty awesome. We'd love to hear from you, by the way. You can shoot us an email anytime. Our address here is info@inwheeltime.com. Time now for This Week in Auto History. And we always love the auto history thing. Mr. Conrad has that.
Well, this week we're going to go way back. Way back to 1658.
All right.
I remember it well.
In 1658, Antonio de la Mothe Le Sieur de Cadillac, a French explorer, found, I don't know why he was looking for
Cadillac, Michigan.
but he found the Detroit area.
Yep.
And it was named, Cadillac was named after him, and the Detroit area as well. So not too sure why anybody would want to find Detroit, but he did.
Hey.
And today Detroit's known as Motor City. In 1887, Daimler built the Benson motor car carriage and had the first test run in Germany of Gottlieb Daimler's first four-wheeled vehicle. So that was back in 1887, which is a little bit earlier than a lot of people think.
I had hair like that.
And the bicycle wheels were very common in early cars because a lot of bicycle builders were the ones who were building cars. In 1902, the American Automobile Association was organized on this day. On this week. So AAA is older than Don.
Wow.
Great. Thanks.
Sure? Yeah, 1902.
It's one of the very few things on this earth.
In 1925, the first nationwide highway numbering system was instituted by the federal highway officials in order to minimize confusion, and different states had different looking signs. They adopted this look for not interstate highways, but highways that crossed multiple states. Because this, 1925 was before the interstate highway system of the red, white, and blue signs that Eisenhower brought in, but the early highway signs.
Highway Patrol.
Right.
With Roderick Crawford.
Yeah, I got a story about him.
And America got its kicks on Route 66 using this sign as it went from Chicago to Santa Monica, California. In 1947, Ferrari drove the first 125S vehicle out of the factory gates, and that 125 was kind of the kickoff of Ferrari. But also in 1929, the Los Angeles Car Show caught fire. And that was burned everything in the building, and one of the remaining vehicles has since been taken out of the fire, captured from the fire and restored, and has been shown at Pebble Beach.
Thermally,
and it was the only one. It was the Auburn one of the Auburns that they have now since brought out to show. Mm-hmm. And then again in 1947, Ferrari released the 125. And if you think Ferrari and looking at the original Ferrari vehicle, this isn't what you think. Because to me, that 125 Ferrari looked a lot like an Austin Healey, but it was out before the Austin Healey. In 1973, Honda released the Honda Civic, was introduced to the United States. And if you remember the first Honda Civic with the CVCC engine in it, which was kind of the first evolution of variable valve timing way back in the day. And think about the timing of it. Honda released this in 1973. What else was going on in 1973?
Gas shortage.
The oil crisis of the 70s. We're having our own oil crisis with Bidenflation right now going on, and Honda hit a home run with this car. And Honda Civic is the second longest name plate from the Japanese domestic market. You know what the longest running name plate is?
Tell me.
Toyota Corolla.
Bicycle builder.
So Corolla's been around since 1968.
Huh.
And that is this week in auto history.
Okay. Got a couple of headlines that we want to get to before we close out today's show. A former dealership owner was sentenced to 6 years in federal prison on March 3rd after being found guilty of defrauding Toyota out of $4.3 million.
Wow.
Listen to this.
Stealing under warranty.
Court documents said James Pinson, took advantage of a Toyota customer support program that bought back trucks with excessive rust from customers for 150% of the Kelley Blue Book value. The program was only available to customers and not dealerships. Court documents state that between 2013 and 2015, Mr. Pinson bought 350 trucks at wholesale price at auction. He obtained,
I love it.
He obtained copies of random residents' driver's licenses and titled the vehicles in their names.
Oh, boy.
He took the trucks to Love Lexus Toyota in West Virginia and bribed the service manager and another employee in order to take advantage of the program, according to court documents. Love Lexus Toyota service manager Frank Russo, 69, was also sentenced the same day to 2 years in federal prison for wire fraud. Stanley Clark, who administered repurchases at Love Lexus Toyota, was sentenced to 15 months in prison last week, according to a press release from the Southern District of West Virginia U.S. Attorney's Office. Both Russo and Pinson will be required to pay restitution of up to $4.3 million to Toyota, according to the press release. Pinson used the money he made through the scheme to purchase a beach house in South Carolina.
Mars has a beach house.
Which he will also be required to give up. Way to go.
Is that dollars or yen?
So, we've talked about
this guy must have been in politics or something at one time.
He learned how to work the system. We've talked about used car prices doubling. Well, the state of New York has filed lawsuits against a number of dealers who have been overcharging for lease turn-ins. You think about a lease, you have a guaranteed price at the end of the lease that you can buy the vehicle for. In today's market, that's a steal of a price on the lease for the residual value. So some of these dealers in New York were charging additional dealer fees, lemon law fees, a dealer adjustment, a cost of living adjustment fee, up to $7,000 to these people that were turning in their lease vehicles.
Wow.
And some of them are going to jail as well.
Jersey.
Former AutoNation CEO Mike Jackson collected more than $18 million in 2021 before he retired from AutoNation.
A deal.
A deal. Those kind of things really tick me off. So I spend my money at a car dealership, and part of that money is going to go to this jerkwad for $18 million. It's their company.
There's also a class action lawsuit against AutoNation about vehicle protection plans.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, but
you know who now is head of AutoNation?
Yes.
Mike Manley, the former CEO at what is now Stellantis, but used to be FCA.
When I worked for AutoNation, I worked for a gentleman by the name of Jeff Dyke, and he moved up the ladder quite quickly to high levels.
And it's not just AutoNation. I mean, all those corporate CEOs,
they're
all
Sonic,
multi-million-dollar ones.
There's a zillion of them.
And you sit there and wonder, what are they doing to make that kind of money?
Yeah.
Well,
and why would the board of directors say, "Oh, okay, well, if you do this, we'll give you this, millions and millions and millions of dollars." Mm-hmm. All that does is add to the ugliness of it all, because we read stories like this and go, wait just a minute, that's not fair.
That ain't right.
Well, it's a matter of...
It's bad PR, I'll tell you that.
I understand that you need to pay somebody a little bit extra to get them to step in, and you want that kind of talent, but that kind of extra, I mean, you can buy a whole lot for a whole lot less.
Look at new vehicle manufacturers. You know, Mary Barra, what did she get? $25 million in 2020. You know, so it's not just at the dealer level, it's also at the manufacturer level, the amount of money that's paid to some of these people.
They could get all four
and
of us for
they didn't give
that.
me anything but the shaft.
Oh, boy.
But it was expensive.
It was a setup.
Camshaft or the drive shaft. All right, time now for a quick break. We'll be right back. You're on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show on iHeartRadio.
Saturday, March 19th, 2022 is the premiere of the all-new Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise In, and you're invited. Tailpipes and Tacos kicks off a new seasonal format, and first up is the Spring Cruise In at the Lupi Tortilla in Katy, 8 to 11 a.m., Saturday, March 19th. Tailpipes and Tacos will award trophies for the best hot rod, best classic, and best modern classic, so make plans now. Tailpipes and Tacos is Houston's coolest cruise in, and this is where you'll enjoy seeing the best hot rods, show cars, classics, and resto mods, along with Lupi Tortilla breakfast tacos and adult beverages. There's no entry fee, and all cars will automatically compete for custom Lupi trophies and other prizes. It all happens at the Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10. Get your ride ready for the all-new Spring Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday, March 19th. It's going to be a huge car show, and spectators are welcome. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show will be there, too. Let's celebrate the arrival of spring and the return of Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday morning, March 19th, 8 to 11 a.m. at the Lupi Tortilla in Katy. We'll see you then, weather permitting. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show is now part of the iHeart family. Now you'll have access to 24/7 Car Talk anytime you need a fix. Just download the iHeart Radio app and ask for In Wheel Time Car Talk, and there we are. Be sure to save us in your iHeart library for instant access. No matter where you are, you have the best Car Talk Show right on your PC, laptop, or mobile device, and never have to worry about finding us again. Of course, you can always get access to our video and audio streams via InWheelTime.com and your favorite podcast channel, and all of this is free to you. From the iHeart Radio app, you'll not only hear our Saturday morning live show, but the best shows of the past, updated weekly. Never miss a minute of up-to-date new car reviews, pre-owned reviews, Konrad's Car Clinic, informative interviews, automotive news, and the most fun car talk show on the planet. Just download the iHeart Radio app, search for In Wheel Time Car Talk, save it to your library, and with a tap of the icon, you'll be in touch with your favorite Car Talk team. In Wheel Time Car Talk, streaming now on iHeart.com/In Wheel Time Car Talk.
Well, you know what that sound means.
Yep.
It's time to go. Woo-hoo. That's a wrap for this week's In Wheel Time Car Talk Show on iHeartRadio. When you're on our Facebook page, please give us a like, tell your friends about us, share our junk if you would. You'll get Konrad's unicorn hunting features along with all things automotive all week long. There'll be some fun stuff in there for you, too, including upcoming events and other goodies. The In Wheel Time Car Show is on 24/7 on iHeartRadio, both online and through the iHeart app. Find us at In Wheel Time Car Talk. We're still live streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and InWheelTime.com every Saturday, 8 to 11 Central. 30-minute podcasts available from your favorite podcast outlet 7 days a week. The In Wheel Time Chief Engineer is David Ainsley. Our Marketing Advertising Manager and Video Technical Director is We Need More, Jeff Zeka.
We do.
For booking agent and podcast editor Mike Out of This World Mars and his royalty king Konrad DeLong, I'm Don Armstrong. Today's show is produced by the Southwestern Bell phone man who fell off the pole.
We know
Be
him.
sure to join us again for our next live In Wheel Time Car Talk show from Tailpipes and Tacos at the Loopy Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10 in Katy. Next Saturday, March 19th, 8 to 11 a.m. Central, right here on the Smoke and Mirrors Network. Adios, amigos.
Don't forget to turn your clocks forward.
Yep, fall back.
That's it for this podcast episode of the In Wheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.